everybody. So we're here in Highworth. Ethan, our other family member, is currently in Mexico with YWAM. He's helping lead a team there, which is amazing. So we just want to update you on our vision, on our mission base dream, and just where we're at with the whole thing. And the funny thing is, you know, we all want miracles, don't we? We all will talk about that, we'll pray about that, we get inspired when we hear miracles. But actually being in the middle of one actually is quite scary. Actually being in the middle of something that God's doing means it's by faith, which means we can't do anything about it. We have no control out of it. It means it has to be something that's so beyond us. It's only possible with God. And that's where we're at. So to try and just bring you up to speed in this video, we want to just share a little bit about what the vision is, about what's happened so far and where we're at. We want to share a little bit of information so you understand what we're saying and what we're not saying, and really just some ways that you can help us and stand with us if you want to. There's always freedom in terms of seeing this totally happen and us get over the line and begin living the dream that God's put in our heart, which actually God gave us years and years ago when we were walking along a beach in Mozambique, when we spent time there. So what is it we're after? We're after a mission base. We have seen ourselves as missionaries here in Highworth. Yeah, we happen to be doing jobs and roles and getting paid, but we're here because God sent us and because we're called by God. Doesn't make us any better than anybody else. Doesn't give us like a divine, significance in everything we do. But it means that we know that actually it's not about us. It's about God, and that we're here because of Him. And the most important thing for all of us as a family is to just keep saying yes. And so we've said yes to this mission-based idea, which is to have a big family home, where what we've done, in a sense, more just us, our little nuclear family, we do with an extended family, a place of discipleship, a place not of retreat, but of advancing, a place where people come and stay, whether from locally or internationally, and where there's a real catalyst that happens in that place. And I think that's the important thing, that home becomes a catalyst. So it's not the thing. We're here to serve you. We're here to serve the body of Christ. But it becomes a catalyst to help others walk into their calling, others be encouraged, others be resurrected into all of their dreams and the great ministry that God has for them. So that's something of what it's about. But where is it we've been coming from and where are we at now?
So what's happened? Well, since we've been carrying this vision for a few years now, but in the last 2 years really felt a strong sense of now is the time. And so we've been asking God and praying and looking around for the right property in Highworth. We really felt strongly that it needed to be somewhere in the centre of Highworth. And so that's where we've been looking and praying. Before Christmas, we'd felt a real kind of sense of deflation, really, and just like, when is this? How is this ever? When is this ever going to happen? This is just impossible. We don't have any property of our own to sell. We weren't in a position where we could make something happen. We just knew it had to be God. And then, as you will have heard before, somebody came up to us in January and said, would you like to buy my property? And so we're at this place where we're in the midst of buying a property, which is a big building, will be ideal for what we want. It's in the centre of Highworth and it's a listed building. And so we are excited and challenged all at the same time.
So here we are, this is the house. It's crazy what God can do. We've never wanted this. We're not looking for a big house for us. We're looking to do something significant in the bit of time we've got for Jesus, and we believe this is a place He's giving us. As you can see, it's a beautiful old property, lots and lots of work needed, but it's got room there, at least 7 bedrooms, bathrooms, other reception rooms, and just a really great space where we believe we can worship, we can pray, we can have fun, we can be extended family, we can eat food, and we can more than anything else encounter God and take that encounter out into the rest of the world.
So at this point in time, we've put in an offer, we've had our offer accepted, we've instructed solicitors, we've had a full structural survey done, and we're just walking on the road towards buying and exchanging on this property. We hope at the end of August, beginning of September, that will happen. In the meantime, we've also been able to get an architect involved to draw up all the plans, because we have to put in for listed building consent for any repairs and restoration that is needed. So there's a lot going on, and we're just walking in the midst of this.
So what does all that mean for us? What does it mean for our local church here? What does it mean for my full-time role as a church servant / leader? Well, for us, the most important thing, that actually nothing stops. We believe our pursuit of this is actually timely, because we feel held back in our calling, in our ability to serve, disciple and create a mission community by the fact that we haven't got a mission base. So everything of this is a commitment to do better what we've already done. So nothing's going to change. We're not suddenly decamping over to our mission base and not doing anything anywhere else. No, for us, that becomes our hub. It's the place we launch from into the rest of the community and beyond, but also a place we come back to and becomes a place of sanctuary, a place of restoration. Engine room is actually a prophetic word someone has given us, not only for our lives, but for many others. And there's two ways, in a sense, that we do things locally as Highworth Community Church. There's sort of the some stuff, a small amount of stuff that we do, in a sense, under the guise of being a trust, and things that we do as HCC very specifically. So we employ an administrator. We rent the properties here in the Bridge Centre. We rent a room at Warnford School for our Sunday gatherings. We have safeguarding policies. There's specific stuff that's sort of under HCC remit. There's then a whole load of other stuff that's, of course, part of being church, because it's about people. It's what's on the people that are part of HCC family, what's on their heart, what are they doing. So Natalie is out there with YWAM, and she's going back to Mexico in a few months' time. She's gone for that. Other people in our community do things all the time, and it's all part of HCC vision, because they're a part of church. What we're talking about doing is not the first, it's the second. So this is not an HCC project. It's not coming under financial support or anything from the church. This is something we're doing. This is what God's on our heart. But like all of it should be, weaving together, because we are part of the family. We are part of this community, and we're a piece of the puzzle of the image of God that he's revealing here and beyond. And finally, in terms of, we've got what we're in right here, the Bridge Centre, loads of stuff goes on here. It would be utterly pointless for us to try and duplicate or compete with what goes on here. So we'll be totally committed to everything we're doing there, complementing what happens at the Bridge Centre. We see the Bridge Centre as the sort of doorway in. It is the bridge connecting the community into the people of God. Here, lots of projects are based, lots of ministries happen. That's not what we'll be doing. And just want to clarify, hopefully, those three things: that still be leading church, this isn't funded by HCC, and we won't be competing with what goes in the Bridge Centre, because those things are really important. Now, here's three ways that if any of this lights your fuse, you can get involved and you can support us.
Firstly, the most important thing we need at the moment is prayer. Because this is a miracle, it's completely out of our hands, and we can't do it on our own. So we need prayer for faith and for finance would be much appreciated. We are starting a WhatsApp group if you'd like to get more closely connected with what we're doing, like day to day, week to week, and just let us know if you'd like to join.
So the second way that you can support us is through our book, The Deeper Magic. If you're still wondering what this whole mission-based thing is all about, it's all here in the book, which is really displaying what we've walked out, what we've practiced, what we've lived as a family, that shows our journey with God as a family as well. So if you haven't read it, please do read it. It is a brilliant, brilliant book. It's not just some good ideas. So many people have fed back positively that it's really impacted them. And if you have read it, please give it to someone else and share it. And this helps us, with our vision of a mission base in expanding our connections and just the general awareness about what we want to do, and B, financially.
The third way that you can support us is practically. The nature of the house that we're buying is that it's really, really old and it's listed, which means that a lot of the work that needs doing needs specific skills. And so really, if you or anyone you know are in the building trade or particularly have experience of working with listed buildings, and you want to offer some help, some time, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Some of the areas in particular that we're going to need to be working on are around the heating and the electrics. We've got some broken beams that need fixing, so structurally. We've got a bay window that needs completely rebuilding and repointing on the outside with lime mortar especially, and other areas as well. So do get in touch with us if you think that you can be part of the miracle and the project that God is doing here with your skills or someone that you know.
So thanks for listening to all of that. In Exodus chapter 14, the people of Israel have got set free from slavery. They've been praying to God to set them free, and God is answering their prayer. And yet actually the saying yes to God and leaving Egypt actually brought them to a scary place. It brought them to a place impossibility where actually they could do nothing about what they were in, and they were facing their doom. We're finding ourselves a little bit in that sort of place as we've been praying, and God has given us what is a crazy miracle. Someone just walks up to you, never met before, and says, "What about this?" Wow, it's exciting. It's lovely when you share with other people and they're like going, "Yeah, that sounds amazing." Generally for us, it's just one big panic attack, really. You know, we have struggled to get the mortgage, and even that was a massive ask, let alone the tens of thousands of pounds, the expertise, the getting things right in terms of the conservation officer and consent and architect and all these things. It's totally beyond us at a time where we haven't got any energy to spend on these things. God has brought us a bit like the people of Israel, where before us is the Red Sea, an uncrossable barrier. You know, we're facing a financial barrier we can't cross. And then suddenly for the people of Israel, they turned around and looked behind them, and the Egyptian army has changed their mind and is coming at them. They're completely stuck. Behind us, actually, the property we're currently been letting for about the last 6 or 7 years, the 3-bedroom flat, has sold as an ongoing concern, but our new owners have decided they want to split our flat into 3 other flats and are putting in their own planning application. We're going to have to move. So we can't stay there and we can't afford here. We're in the middle of this thing. What's that like, Summer?
Well, it's of course exciting, but at the same time very scary. It's very uncertain what's been going to happen. And it sort of throws everything into disarray, and upturns our lives in a way, as we don't really know what the coming months will follow and if everything will be able to fall into place.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Caleb, what do you feel like God's saying to us through this time? What's it been like for us journeying these last few months?
I think it's an amazing time for our family to grow in faith, for God to increase our capacity for faith, and just see his goodness and rely on him fully for all of our needs. It's so much easier when it's completely outside of anything you can achieve by your own works. So
yeah. And so do please pray for us. The other things as well, we'd love to hear from you if you want to support us more on a day-to-day basis in terms of prayer and information, so we can put you on a WhatsApp group. But more importantly, it's about Jesus. May he get the glory. This isn't us. You know, we don't feel like, yes, I'm in such great faith at this point. It's just super scary, totally outside of our ability, our bank balance, what we can achieve. And all we can do is say yes to God. And that's the same for you today. Are you going to say yes to him, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if it puts you in a place where you can't go forward and you can't go backwards? Are you going to be willing to put it all out there for Jesus? Because what does our nation need? Today, probably more than it's ever needed in my whole life, it needs to see the Waymaker, the miracle worker. Yeah, it needs to see Jesus is alive today. God bless you all.
Unless you speak, a heart-tripping creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you said. If it all reveals
3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hi.
Go and do it.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Someone waits until everyone else is set and goes, hello.
You should do some bloopers at the end of this. All right, 3, 2, 1.